Voting for someone in an election who is running for political office is not only our right as United States citizens, but also a responsibility if we wish to make a difference in the world in which we live. Uttara Monohar wrote an article on the website Buzzle that I feel has many good reasons why people should vote. She says, voting is one of the most crucial processes that is instrumental both in the functioning of society and its relationship with the government. Here's a statement by a guy named Mike. The government is useless. There is nothing they can do to make our lives better. The rising prices, the unemployment, the escalating crime rate, they have no answers, said Mike. Well, if you are really concerned about these things, you should vote it, Mike, said John. Maybe a better candidate would have won, and maybe he would have taken some effective measures for improvement. Unless you vote, you just can't blame the government because you have failed your duties. I completely agree with that statement. It's so easy to lay blame at the government's feet and complain to our families, friends, and neighbors about the demise of this great country. Yet there are many of these people who didn't take the time or didn't think it was important enough to vote. The article goes on to say, well, if you are one of those people who think voting is a waste of time and keep on complaining about how the government is a complete failure, then it is time you realize the importance of voting and do your bit towards enhancing the government functioning. Be at an election for a commissioner, governor, state official, legislator, or president, it is the people of a nation who have the right to put forward policies that will affect the town, your job, your country, your taxes through the governing bodies. Voting ensures that your opinion is taken into account while appointing the person who holds the reins of power. People who are elected have the power to formulate educational policies which are instrumental in shaping the future of children and hence the future of the nation itself. Healthcare, highways, jobs, taxes, or even food, the elected representatives have the power to take decisions over some of the most vital issues in our life. So would you be comfortable in letting anybody take over these powers without exercising your right to vote? Voting is one of the fundamental processes which is instrumental in the development of a healthy democracy. Next time there is an election in your country, state, or town, think of people who are living under tyrannical dictatorships or who are under curfews and cannot exercise their right to opinion. Your right to vote is your right to expression and opinion. Do not take this right for granted. Try to appreciate the power of voting by exercising it. I am currently taking a U.S. government course and I'm learning more about democracy, the masses, and the elites. Even though I definitely fall under the masses category and could never become an elite or have the desire to be an elite, I certainly feel that the voices of the masses matter and do make a difference. It may not always be a big difference, but there is something to be said about having a voice in how this country is run, and we can create change in our neighborhoods, cities, states, and country. For my government class, we are reading The Irony of Democracy, 15th edition. On page 133, it gives reasons why people vote and the types of voters there are in the United States. These results were concluded by political science researchers from samples of voters in presidential and congressional elections. Number 1. Policy or issues voters base their decisions on the key issues of greatest importance to them, such as taxation, abortion, or environment. Number 2. Party voters or ideologues are likely to rely on either liberal or conservative principles in evaluating candidates and issues and generally favor one party over the other. Party identification correlates closely with voter choice. Self-identified partisans choose their party's candidates as the best person. Number 3. Group benefit voters are those who evaluate parties and candidates by expected favorable or unfavorable treatment for special social groups. Subjects favor candidates they consider sympathetic to a group with which they identify. Retrospective. Number 4. Retrospective voters base their judgment on their perception of the condition of the nation, usually meaning the economy. They blame or praise parties and candidates because of their association with the conditions of prosperity or recession. Number 5. As party and ideologic affiliations have moderated, increasing numbers of voters are casting their ballots based on candidate image as projected through the media: charm, confidence, sincerity, humor, and looks. From these 5 different categories, it's interesting to learn about the different types of voters and the reasons they feel it's important for them to vote. It definitely proves that there is much diversity in the masses as a whole. In conclusion, I would like to quote from Alexander Sam, an E-How contributor, that sums up the very reason why I vote and feel its importance. In the United States, voting is the single most important right that you are afforded as a citizen. Each citizen has the opportunity to exercise one vote during an election. All votes are considered equal in status and are not distinguished by someone's social status within the country. Your vote has the potential to have a serious impact on the outcome of an election. So, I encourage all of you to vote.